All right, our lesson for today is 7.5 sales tax tips and markups. First of all, let's talk about what tax is. We pay taxes a couple different ways. We pay income tax. So my check is not the actual amount that I am supposed to be making. The government's going to take money for federal taxes and for state taxes. And those are good things because I like for police officers to show up when there's something wrong happening. I like for there to be jails for criminals to be in if that's necessary. I like for my parks to be beautiful, and I like my kids to get educated. So I'm okay with paying for those things. We also have something called sales tax, which you guys actually pay even if you don't have a job. If you buy something, like if you buy a video game or a pair of shoes or a hoodie or something like that, and you walk it up to the front of like Walmart or Champs or something, they're not going to say, hey, that's $35, like the price tag on your tag. They're going to actually add tax to that. It's going to be a little bit more. And that tax is used similarly within our government. So we have a sales tax, and that's something that's added to the price. Sales tax is usually somewhere between 3 and 9%. It varies depending on what you're purchasing and what state you're in and what area. Those are all kind of decided by local government and the people. Another thing that's going to be added to your total is going to be tips or gratuity. That's a synonym for tips. When you tip the service industry, that's not like you go to McDonald's, you order your stuff at the counter, you go get your own drink, you sit down, you go get your food when it's ready. That's not somewhere where you're going to tip. You're going to tip someone who's offering you and providing you service. So if you go to Olive Garden or something and you sit down with your family, you are going to be tipping your waitress or waiter, your server, because they're going to be bringing you everything you need, making sure that your drink is full, taking your order, talking to the cooks. The cooks are going to make that for you. They're going to bring it back to your table. So those type of employees don't actually get like a minimum wage. Their hourly wage is much lower in the state of Missouri. It's like $2 or $3 an hour. So they are counting on those tips. So it's really important that we are tipping like 18 to 20% for those industries, and that's something that you're going to add. I usually tip after tax, so they might tell me what my total is after taxes at the bottom of my check, and that's what I'm going to be tipping on. Finally, there's something called markup. So this is like, hey, I'm Champs, or I'm your favorite store, and Champs wants a certain pair of shoes. So they're going to go get some Nikes. They're actually going to go to China, wherever they're actually producing and building those Nikes, and they're going to order them there because it's cheapest. So they might get a pair of Nikes for like $30, but they're not going to bring it back and sell it to you for 30 or even for 35 or 40 because they have to pay for shipping to get those Nikes to you. They have to pay for rent. They have to pay for their employees. They have to pay for advertisement. They have to pay for electricity to be on at the store when it's open. So all of these things cost them money, and they want to make a profit. So they're going to jack up that price of the shoes. They might sell it to you for $100. They might sell it to you for double or triple or quadruple what they actually purchased it for so that they can make money, because that's what it's all about. So markups are also going to be added, and those are added pre-tax because that's what's going to affect your sticker price of your item. So we'll do a couple of examples so that you have a better idea of what I mean by that. So say you're buying a notebook for $2.95. Well, you're going to have to pay 5% tax. So just like with our discount lesson on 7.4, you're finding 5% of that $2.95. There are two ways to do this. Let me remind you a couple of ways. Some of you might move the decimal over, divide by 100 to get 0.05 times $2.95, and that's going to give you your tax amount. And some of you are going to use that proportion. You're going to put the full amount in the of spot and then an X in the is spot, and then you're taking 5% over 100. Either way that you do that, you're going to come up with a tax amount of, it's 0.14 or something, but it's actually going to be rounded to 0.15. So it's going to be 15 cents for tax on that item. Now, this says find the sales tax. That's the first thing you do, or tip, and then you find the total cost. So of course you're going to add that tax right onto the original cost. So we've got $2.95. That's the cost, plus 15 cents for the tax. When we add those together, you're going to be paying a total of $3.10, and that total is with the tax. That's what like the register is going to tell you at the front. Thank you, you owe me $3.10. So similarly, when we're coming over here to talk about tipping somebody, if we're going to tip them 15%, again, we're going to find 15% of our $28 lunch amount, and that's going to be 4.2, but make it look like money. So it's going to be $4.20. That's our tip. Now that's not our answer, right? Our answer is our total cost is what they're asking for. So we're going to take that $28 lunch amount And we're going to add the tip of $4.20. It's going to go straight to our server. But our total today is going to be $32.20. That's our total with tip. All right, I want you to pause this video and I want you to try number 3 and 4. So pause now. All right, 18% gratuity is going to be 0.18 times 43. So your tip is going to be $7.74. Remember, gratuity means tip. And you're going to add those up, $43 plus that $7.74 tip, and that's going to give you a total of $50.74, and that total is with your tip. For the computer, I think you figured out the more money you spend, the more tax you are going to pay because it's based on the percentage of what you are buying. So if you buy an expensive computer, your tax is going to be more than if you bought that notebook, right? So it's going to be $1.05 for tax. So we're going to take our original $1,500 plus the $105, and that's going to give us a total of $1,605 is our total with tax. All right, so let's go to the back and look at what this looks like and some more complicated problems. Those were pretty straightforward, but guess what? You are not going to only encounter tax or only encounter tip. You're going to encounter all of it at the same time. So this question is talking about getting a haircut. And a haircut is one of those services that you offer a tip. So if you're getting a haircut for $20 and sales tax is $4.75, it's asking, is $25 sufficient to cover a haircut if I'm going to give a 15% tip? So I've got two things going on here. I've got to pay tax and I've got to pay tip. And like I said, I usually tip off of the taxed amount, the amount that includes the tax. So our very first step is going to be find the tax. And how did we find the tax on the last page? Well, we multiplied the tax rate. We changed that to a decimal. We multiply it times the cost of our haircut. So our tax for this haircut is going to be 95 cents. Okay. Next, our second step is we're going to add the tax and the cost. So we're going to take our $20 for our haircut and we're going to add 95 cents for our tax, and we're going to get $20.95. That's with tax. Now, I tip off of this amount. So when I find my tip next, that's my next step, this is step number 3, is to find the tip that I'm going to pay this hairstylist. I'm going to use this amount to find the tip. So I've got $20.95, and I'm going to multiply that by my tip rate, which is 15%, 0.15. So I'm going to tip this person $3.14. So our very last step, though, we still have to figure out what is our total altogether. So we're going to add the cost and the tip. And that is going to be $20.95 plus our tip, which is $3.14. And that's going to be $24.09. And that's our total with tax and tip. Okay? But the question asks, is $25 sufficient? So is it? Yeah. Yes. $25 is going to be enough. You're going to have 91 cents left over. Here's another type of problem. Here's one that has to do with markup. So if you're kind of hazy on how stores mark up things and decide their price, this might help you out a little bit. So the store pays $10 for a bracelet. Okay? I'm going to call this my dinosaur, because that's what I have here today. I have a dinosaur. So if they buy this dinosaur from China, from Canada, from somewhere in the United States, whatever the actual producer of this dinosaur is, they're going to buy this dinosaur for $10. Well, they're not going to sell it to me for $10. They have to make some money. So they're going to jack up that price. They're going to mark up the price. So this time the markup is going to be 115%. But that's not all. After they mark that up and I come in and buy it, I'm also going to pay a 5.5% sales tax. So we need to figure out the markup, the actual price, the retail price is what we call it, of this guy, what the sticker price is going to be. And then we're going to see how much it would be to buy this dinosaur after the markup and include the sales tax. So the very first thing we're going to do is we have to find the markup first. Find markup. In order to do that, we're going to take the original cost of that dinosaur, that's $10, and multiply it by this percentage. Now, this percentage is going to look really wacky because it's not a normal percent under 100. And that's okay. With markups, you're going to see markups of 200%, 150%. Sometimes jewelry is like 300%. So that happens. If we move the decimal over right here, it's going to look like this. 1.15 is our decimal we're going to multiply. Or if you prefer 115 over 100, that's fine. It's all going to be the same number. So if we multiply those together, we're going to find that the markup is going to be $11.50. That's the markup. Okay? In order to find my actual price of this dinosaur, that's my next step, I'm going to add the markup and the cost. And this is going to tell me what it's actually going to cost me, what the sticker price of this dinosaur is going to read. It's going to be the $10 they purchased it from, plus the $11.50 markup. So that's going to be $21.50. That's what we call a retail price, or a sticker price. You might hear it be said when you're talking about buying cars. Okay, that's what they're asking for. So this dinosaur is actually going to have a tag that says $21.50. So if I pick it up off the shelf and I walk it up to the register, they're not going to tell me $21.50 is what I owe, because I still have to pay tax. I'm paying tax off of the price. So my next step is going to be find the tax amount of the retail. So we're going to use actually this retail amount to find out, because that's what I'm paying for it. So that's what I'm going to be paying taxes on. So $21.50, we're going to multiply that by the tax rate. Now 5.5% is really 5.5%. 5.5%, if I move the decimal, is going to be 0.055. When I multiply those together, I'm going to find that I have a tax of $1.18, which is great. But now I have to do my total. So at the end, I have to add tax and retail price, because I am paying $21.50 for this. That's the sticker price of this dinosaur, and I'm also going to be paying $1.18 to the government, and that's going to give me a total of $22.68 total with markup and tax. So some of these problems get pretty complicated. These are multi-step problems, and you have to kind of be thinking what things are going to come first as we're working on these. You'll have several problems on your homework that are like this last one, so pay special attention to this one. This boogie board has a regular price of $69, and it's on sale with a 35% discount. What is the sale price with a 7% tax? So we have a discount and a tax. Now, are we paying taxes to the government off of money we're not spending, or money we're actually spending? I'm not going to pay money to the government for something I'm not buying. Only paying taxes, sales tax, off of the money that's being charged to me. So am I paying the full price? No, I'm not paying $69, so it would be silly to take the tax amount off of the $69. Instead, you are always going to do the discount first before you figure out your tax. All right, so my very first step is going to be find the discount. The next step, I'm going to subtract the discount. This was all from lesson 7.4. After I find my, to find sale price, the sale price. After I find that sale price, then I'm going to find the tax. The tax of what? Of the sale price. And finally, I'm going to add the tax back into the sale price. So these are your steps. If you are feeling strong, or if you want to challenge, I would go ahead and pause this video right here and see if you can't work these things out step by step. Okay, so if I'm going to find the discount first, I'm going to take the cost of the boogie board and multiply it by 0.35. That's 35% off, okay? When I do that, I get $24.15. That's the discount amount. That's the part I'm not paying for, right? So I need to take that out of the regular price. So go ahead and take the $69, the original price, minus the discount. And that's going to give me a sale price of $44.85. Okay, now that I have the sale price, this is what we're working on. If I'm going to pay $4.85 for this boogie board, then that's what my tax rate's going to be. So I'm going to find the tax of the sale price. The tax rate is 7%, so 0.07 times that sale price of $44.85. And that's going to be $3.14 for tax. Now I need to add this all together, right? So my sale price, of course, not the original price, it's not what we're paying anymore, plus $3.14. That's going to give me a total price of $47.99 total with tax and discount. When you're showing your work on your homework, it would be a really good idea to show me step by step what you're multiplying and what your answer is. Don't just start writing numbers down, because I have to be able to follow what you're doing. And then when you go back over it, if something's wrong, you have to be able to find out what you're doing wrong, what is not correct, where did you make your error. And you won't know if you just got random numbers written out. You won't know if you found the tax off the wrong thing, or if you forgot to do the discount first. You do not know, but I can look back step by step and see and follow the trail of these numbers. All right, so go ahead and get started on your homework.